Hi guys, now that we have learned what scientific notation is and how to convert between standard form and scientific notation, we want to work with computing with scientific notation. So starting off, we're going to start with multiplication and division. You can apply the product of powers and quotient of powers properties to multiply and divide numbers written in scientific notation. So we take this first example here. First I'm going to go through one multiplication and one division where we're going to kind of do it by hand. And then I'll talk about how to use your calculator with the ones down below. So in our first one, we are going to multiply 4.62 times 8.15. So if we multiply those, we would get 37.653 times 10. Now we want to look at our powers of 10. We have the same base. Remember our product of powers rule, that means we can add the exponents. So 5 plus 9 gives us 10 to the 14th. Now, however, we want to go back and check. We see that our decimal point is not in the right spot. For scientific notation, we need to move it back 1 so that we get 3.7653 times 10. Now, if we move that 1 to the left, this needs to go up by 1. Showing that it's a larger number. So times 10 to the 15th. We double check. And yes, we are correct. So what you do here to do it by hand, we would multiply our leading terms and then add the exponents and then just double check that your decimal is in the right place. If you had to move it, make sure you change your exponent with your 10. Right over in the next one. For division, same idea. We want to divide our leading term, so 4.62 divided by 1.4 gives us 3.3 times 10, and we subtract here, so 5 minus negative 9, same as 5 plus 9, gives us 10 to the 14th. We double check, yes, our decimal is in the right place, so we don't have to change our exponent, and 3.3 times 10 to the 14th. Okay, so that's how we would work with it, kind of doing it by hand. To use your calculator, so this first problem, we have 6.4 times 10 to the negative 5 times 12,000. So if we go to our calculator, first thing you want to check, it has to be in scientific notation for your modes. We hit mode, this button right here, and you'll see this line right here. It's currently on normal, we want it on scientific notation, so we just arrow over. Puts down the SCI, hit enter. We're now in scientific notation. So the second mode takes us back. So we had, it was in parentheses, we keep it in parentheses, 6.4 times 10, use your caret key for the negative 5, arrow over to get out of the exponent, close your parentheses, and times 12,000. Close parentheses, hit enter. So we get 7.68 E negative 1. This E here, that stands for scientific notation. So anytime you see that E, think of it as that times 10 part. Think of it as that times 10. So answer using your calculator, 7.68 times 10 negative 1. Now be careful when you write it out using your calculator. You cannot put E. So do not use the E. You must replace it with this times 10 part. Okay, that's how your calculator shows scientific notation. Okay, so same thing over here. Using the calculator. So we hop back over here. We see we have a fraction, so alpha y equals, put in our fraction. We have 2.5627 times 10 to the negative 9 over 5.23 times 10 to the negative 3. When you're putting in your negatives, make sure you're careful. You're using your negative sign down here, not the minus sign. That would give you an error. We hit enter. Then we see we get 4.9 e to the negative 7. Remember that e is our scientific notation, r times 10. So we fill this in here. 4.9 times 10 to the negative 7. Okay, so you guys will have your calculators. Remember that you have a calculator available on my website if you're trying to do homework at home. I am perfectly fine with you guys just using the calculator. You do not have to do this way. I just wanted you to see where those answers were coming from. Okay, looking at a word problem. Scientists estimate that there are over 3.5 times 10 to the 6 ants per acre in the Amazon rainforest. If the Amazon rainforest covers approximately 1 billion acres, find the total number of ants. Write in scientific notation. Okay, so per, right here, per means multiply. So we have 3.5 times 10 to the 6 times 1 billion. Since we're doing scientific notation here, if I write out 1 billion, that's 1 with 9 zeros, 100,000 million billion. So put that in scientific notation. It's going to be times, I'll put this in parentheses, 1 times 10 to the 9. Now a little side note here, guys. I know we've been saying all year don't use the x. Scientific notation is the one time that you should use your x. Please use the x for times your 10 to an exponent for scientific notation only. Now this one, you could put this in your calculator, or if we think about this, if I were to multiply my leading numbers by 3.5 and I have 1, well 3.5 times 1 is still 3.5 times 10, and we're multiplying, so we want to add the exponents. 6 plus 9 gives us 15, and you're done. So you really didn't need to use your calculator for this one. Double check down here. So there are about 3.5 times 10 to 15 ants in the Amazon rainforest. That is a lot of ants. I do not plan on going there anytime soon. Now we've done multiplying and dividing. Let's look at adding and subtracting. When adding or subtracting decimals in standard form, you line up the place values. When adding or subtracting in scientific notation, the place value is represented by the exponent. Each exponent must have the same value in order to add or subtract. We want to evaluate each expression and express the result in scientific notation. So, you could change both of these to standard form, since they're not the same exponent. So we would have 5,450 if we move this 1, 2, 3 times, plus 31,200 if we move this 1, 2, 3, 4 times 10 to the 4th. Add those together, we would get 36,650. Now we want this back in scientific notation. So we know our decimal needs to be here, so how many times did we move? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 3.665 times 10 to the 4th. So that's how we would do it by hand. But, just like multiplying and dividing, we have a calculator. So we can just use our calculator instead of worrying about moving our decimals and then moving them back at hand. So this second example, we have 2.78, oops, forgot my parentheses. 2.78 times 10 to the 5th. Minus, should use minus, not negative, 46,500. We're still in scientific notation for our mode. So we get 2.315 E5. And when we write our answer, we change that E. So 2.315 times 10 to the 5th. So there's an example writing it out. Here's an example just using your calculator. Again, either way is fine as long as you have that calculator available to you. Alright guys, that is the end of this lesson.